Hi, I am Yogesh Sripati Mitkal and today's date is 13 August 2021 and our today's concept is encapsulation in Java programming language. In that, in that the encapsulations they are the wrapping the class. In that the wrapping the code and data together into a single unit. And for an example, we create a medicines mixed for several medicines. So in that we create a one capsule by using the several medicines which are usually in it. So in that we are in that the encapsulation we can create a fully encapsulated class. So in that the encapsulation we take some data members, and these data members are is in private access modifier are usually in that data members. So by in that the private that data members are within we can use in a class, but due to the private data members in that data member, so that's why that members are do not use the another class directly. So first of all we some steps to given to the encapsulation. The first step for the encapsulation is, first of all, it can get the values by the user, and that values was set in that data member. So that's why there are two methods are used in a data member, and that two methods are both methods are public. So that's why the private data members are assigned the some values, or we are send them values by using the getter and setter method. So we can in that we can create a fully encapsulation class. In that there are making all the data members are as private. Now we can use the setter and getter methods to set and get the data in it. In the Java class there are some advantages of the encapsulation in Java programming language. In that, by providing only a setter or getter method, you can make the class read only and write only. In other words, you can skip the getter and setter methods. It provides you control the over the data. In that we can use the setter and getter methods. We also control that data member, or the values which can be used by the user satisfaction are also user control and command on that data member. So suppose you want to set the value of id in that which should be greater than 100 only. You can write the logic inside the setter method, and you can write the logic or not to store the negative numbers in that the setter methods. So the user satisfied the only the positive members or positive members in the data member. At that condition we set the some properties or some condition. At that the condition only positive numbers are acquired in the data members. So that's why at that the position we cannot apply or send them the negative numbers to that data member. So that's why this is the control of the user satisfaction in a encapsulation. It is way to achieve the data hiding in a Java, because the class will not be able to access the data through the private data member. The encapsulation class is easy to test, so it is better for the unit testing. The standard ID is providing the faculty of the generate the getters and setters methods, so it is easy and fast to create an encapsulated class in Java. So the simple example of the encapsulation Java programming language is as follows. So let's see the or in that the examplation we create some package. In that package we create a student class, and student class have some data members. That data number is a private string name. At that the point, one method is a public. That method name is a public string get name, and at that the point this method is return the string or name. At that the point we get that value by using the user. Now another method is a get public void set method, or passes argument of string name. At that method we set the values of the name of the data member. So that is the basic process of the encapsulation in Java programming language. In that the second example of the encapsulation is we create some class. That in that the first problem we created some another class, and this class name has a test. At that the condition we create a previous class object, or our previous class is student, and we create a student object or copy of that class by using creating a object like as a student s is equal to new student and bracket. At that the condition we create a object of the class or the copy of that the previous class. At that the condition we taking a reference variable as student class as yes, and yes that set name or some passes a string that name is Vijay. At that type we set the values of the name of the data members of the previous class as Vijay, and our second method is a call by using sysout statement. So also our name is a display on our console. So that's all about the basic in encapsulation. But also we can use the only read class only in encapsulation. At that condition we create a student class and has a private data member as a string college and passes some name as Yogesh. At that time we create a public string get name and return the name. At that the point another class is create and our pass that the method only. At that the condition we can only use the read method. But in write method we can assign the value by using the user, or set method is calling. At that the condition that name is only write method. In that write method we passes some values or passes some argument or initialize that data member. That we can use that is the write method. And when was the read method? At that the condition our data member is private and how we initialize that data member at the declaration statement, or both the declaration and initialize in the same line. At that the condition we can only use the read method. At that the condition we read that the data members. So this is the encapsulation in Java programming language. So in the encapsulation overview, it is the basic important notes for that the encapsulation is our data member is private. We have some set method and get method, and both methods are public in state. So this is the major problems or major point in Java programming language. Without our the third important point is due to the encapsulation we control the data members, or we control or choose the what was the customer satisfaction of the values which can be getting. So that's why this is the in the encapsulation. So that's all about the encapsulation. Okay.